Growing up, I lived in an old farmhouse that suburbia had taken over. The original owner had sold all of the farmland to the town for construction. When my father bought the house, he gutted the entire thing. There really isn't anything original about the house, aside from the frame itself, maybe. I was always aware of the extra guest in my home. Like clockwork, the stairs would creak every morning, followed by the overwhelming scent of lavender. This belonged to an old woman's spirit. Every so often, the doors would open, things would go missing, only to turn up somewhere strange, and every once in a while, an artifact from the previous owner would turn up in the most unexpected places. A necklace from 1965 appeared in my living room sometime in 2010. Newspapers from around 1950 were found in a storage room we went in and out of at least once a month. Voices could be heard throughout the house, and there was always a feeling of being watched. My bedroom was in the attic, along with 2 storage spaces that lived behind my bookshelves. Very James Bond, I know. One December, when we went into the storage spaces in my room, we came across something strange. There, behind all of the Christmas decorations we had pulled out, was an armchair with a newspaper and pipe laid out on it. It looked as if someone had been sitting there moments before. Needless to say, we were all a little freaked out. My father threw out the pipe, chair, and newspaper. We sealed the storage space back up and went about decorating our house for the holidays. That night, when I went to bed, the energy in the room felt different. I tried to write it off as being freaked out by what we had found earlier. I rationalized with myself that we had just missed it somehow over the course of living there. I turned my light out and snuggled up in my blankets. I had started to drift off when I began to hear a creaking sound. I opened my eyes and the rocking chair was rocking back and forth, quickly by itself. I could see the silhouette of a tall, skinny man. Not quite a silhouette, because I could see clear through him. It was more like a very dark shadow. He must have noticed me staring, because he got up and started walking towards me. I closed my eyes and buried my head beneath my covers. I tried pretending I was asleep. Then the whispering started. It sounded like he was very close to my face. I was paralyzed with fear and couldn't find my voice to scream for help. I was just lucky enough that I had pulled the blanket over my head moments before. I have no idea how long this went on for, but I eventually fell asleep. When I woke the next day, my bed was soaked through with sweat. I told my parents, but neither believed me. It wasn't until I was much older that my mum confessed to having experiences in that house as well. The craziest part is that after that night, I saw the man all the time. He came almost every night at first, and then slowly over time it happened less and less. I noticed that whenever I rearranged my room and moved the rocking chair, his activity would get worse. That's when he would walk up to my bed and stand over me. It would always start with the slow rocking of the rocking chair, steadily getting faster until the man arose from his seat and approached me. Whenever he did, I would lose my ability to speak or move. I'd simply lay there, praying for morning to come. I feel like he was mad about us taking away his original chair and decided to inhabit my rocking chair as a replacement. I'd like to say that my parents sold the house and I haven't seen him since. My dad, however, still lives there to this day. When I visit, I can feel the man's presence. Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, consider subscribing, or listen to another episode or series which will be popping up on the screen right now. If you have a story you would like narrated, contact me via Twitter in the description below.